Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's session of Beyond Forgotten Realms here on the MindTour Gaming stream. Last session, we left off on a pause. Due to some issues on my end, I had to end the stream a little early, unfortunately. But we'll pick up right where we left off. Our group of adventurers dealing with this strange darkness that's revealed itself from this hole that's created at the base of a tree within the vast swamp. After our group slayed the orcs that captured many of the villagers from Monk's Blade and sacrificing them, a few of them at the base of this tree, as well as the orcs dying. Afterwards, sphere of darkness disappeared. The base of the tree opened, began to unleash this thick darkness, almost like a smoke or a fog, that began to envelop the area, tree, and then even part of the sky above. The group decided to follow down into this tunnel as tendrils of shadow and darkness begin to take the bodies of the orcs and dead humans down into this tunnel. Traversed tunnel deep in the earth, though it should have been filled with water due to the environment of the vast swamp. It was not. Finally, dirt turned to stone as stone tunnel opened to a cavern. Inside, they found stalactites and stalagmites, a cliff edge, where one of the stalactites came to life and began to grab a hold of the adventurers and trying to devour them. On top of it, this darkness continued to flow from the cliff edge up and over, through past them and back up the tunnel from which they came. There was another offshoot tunnel that continued on to the left side of the cavern, and they entered. But currently, voices murmuring, telling them just of the struggle that they're up against down here. Whispering of possible death. What would happen afterwards? Though none of them picked up on the words, we find ourselves still in combat with the roper at the edge of this cliff. The two large shadow-like tentacles already destroyed. But let's go ahead and get things started and head on over to Tailspire. So, let's go ahead and have it. I believe no one's currently grappled, restrained by the tendrils of this creature. So it will go ahead and make 4 tendril attacks. One against Kaz, Alokian, Keth, and then the last one, because I believe it does not see Belkin because he is currently hidden. So the last one will also go against Keth. So 2 against you, Keth. I don't remember, Keth. Did you attack recklessly
I don't
last
think
time?
so, because I was flanking. I'm pretty
Yep.
sure
Okay.
even then.
So 2 tendril attacks against you. All right. A 24 and a 21.
Yes, they both hit.
All right. So both tendrils wrap around your legs and your upper torso. The large, sharp hooks at the end of them pierce into your flesh, and then the creature begins to slowly tighten its grip around you, begin to drag you closer. 1 against you, Alokian. 22 versus your AC.
Just meets it.
This time you bring your shield up, but it wraps around your shield arm and begins to yank you close. The last one against Kaz. Unfortunately, it misses. Reaches out with one of its tendrils. You take your sword and you just parry it away, knocking it to the ground, cutting it a bit, and it recoils back quickly. Then it will. You both are already adjacent to it, but it begins to pull you closer towards its toothy maw as it begins to writhe and bite. Let's see which one it will bite. I guess we'll go with Keth because it has 2 tendrils attached to you currently, Keth. Alright. And that is a 23. I believe that hits your AC, right?
Yes.
Okay. Have a piercing pain all across your body as the tendrils pull you into this toothy maw and it begins to bite and tear into your flesh. You take 25 points of piercing damage, but you are currently raging, right? So,
Yes.
half that. As it does bite chunks of flesh from your arm as you're holding it back and trying to keep the maw from closing down upon the upper torso of your body. Struggling to get away from the grasp of this creature. It is now... Yep, alright. It's now Lokian's turn.
Okay. Am I right in front of it? Is that what I'm seeing?
You are currently flanking with Keth. Keth ran across the cliff edge where the darkness is just kind of waving over the edge of the cliff edge that's there and back towards the tunnel.
Okay, so I would like to use my action to cast Twilight Sanctuary.
Okay.
So I make a 30-foot radius. I just grab my holy symbol, and light starts to slowly emit from me outwards 30 feet.
And that's dim light that's emanating from you.
Correct.
All right. And anyone that is within 30 feet of you will get that at their turn. So, Kaz, you're just in. Belkin, you're out. You would have to come a little bit closer to Lokian.
Okay.
I would also like to use my bonus action to hit with Bodrum's Gale.
Okay. You can make an attack at disadvantage because of the grapple that the creature currently has on you. Or you can take your action to try to escape its grapple. But you're doing a bonus action attack, so just roll a disadvantage. Which would be a normal roll because of the flanking.
Okay. So 11.
11 does not hit, as you're trying to bring the blade down across the creature, but its tendrils are just wrapping up all over your body and arm and keeping you at bay.
Alrighty, that would be my turn.
Belkin, now your turn. You're currently hidden
It
behind the
is.
rock. Creature does not notice your current position, and you also have your companions flanking it.
Come on, we went here. Oh, yep, right about there.
Okay.
And fire a shot at that thing.
Go for it. You can attack.
I will. Hey, that it works. 19.
The bolt flies through the air just over Alokian's shoulder as Alokian's wrestling with his right arm and the blade and a tendril that's currently wrapped around it. The bolt strikes the creature and shatters across its body, but doesn't do any damage, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
It just misses.
Okay. Alright, pointer. That'll be my turn.
All right. Its large eye just shifts over toward the direction where the bolt came from. It now knows where you are. Keth.
All right. Keth is going to swing at this guy twice.
Right.
He's just going to do a regular attack. I think he was having trouble with Great Weapon Master hitting him.
All right.
So
it's just a normal roll due to the
Yeah.
restrain.
Yeah. Oh. 23, I think.
23 hits.
Okay. Let me real quick.
Even through both of the tendrils that are wrapped around your body and limbs, you're able to break through with one of your arms and strike down the glaive and pierce through its back.
That'll be 13 damage.
Right.
Along with 8 necrotic as well.
Okay.
Top of that. And then second swing. $22.
22 hits. You push the glaive even deeper into its body. Loki, and you see something beginning to ooze from the inside of its maw and pour from its tooth between its teeth and onto the ground in front of you as it's trying to pull you into its teeth.
7
Devour
damage for that last hit.
All right.
And that is the end of his turn.
Right. It is now Kaz's turn.
All right. I'm going to. I remember I tried this last time, but it didn't quite connect. I'm going to try to Chromatic Orb at second level.
Okay.
That is an 8 plus 8 is 16 to hit.
16. Once again, the chromatic orb strikes out towards the creature, but is deflected against its tough hide as the energy explodes across its body, but doesn't seem to do any damage.
And it's a D6 plus 3 for the temporary for Alokian skill.
The Twilight Sanctuary? Alokian.
It's a D6 plus 3. Yep.
Perfect.
I forgot to do that.
Me too.
All right.
Go ahead and roll out.
It's an 8. That is helpful.
Yes.
D6 plus 3, you said, Joey?
Plus 3.
Plus 3.
Okay, so yeah.
Keth is not looking great, by the way. He's rather weak.
Oh, no.
Looking severely wounded.
Yes.
Right. The Roper's turn. If that's the end of your turn, Kaz.
Yeah, that'll be it for me.
All right. It will try to strike out towards Belkin and Kaz with its... No. Keeping some of its tendrils free, it begins to pull both Alokian and Keth down the side of the cliff. So you are still adjacent to it. Oh, Alokian disappeared into the darkness.
He's dead.
He
He's
died.
gone.
Oh, bye.
Both
Bye,
of you
everyone. It was
are fighting to stay on the side of the cliff. I need you to go ahead and make strength saving throws, please.
Actually, it's a advantage because he's Vigil.
Yep, you have disadvantage on
oh. I don't think I can do any worse.
it. Okay.
Oh, wait, we have disadvantage.
You do have disadvantage, but if you're raging, you have advantage, so
Yeah.
it'd be a normal roll for you.
23.
All right. So
9.
it does not pull you down off the side of the cliff. Keth, you're able to hang on to the edge there where you currently are, but everyone can see Lokian fall over and get pulled down next to the creature, and it will try to make it a bite attack against you. Oof. A natural 20 does hit.
Goodbye, Alokian. It's good knowing you, buddy.
Oh my goodness.
That's a lot of damage. I took 25 last turn, and that was not a nat 20.
Alokian, you take 44 points of piercing damage as it just begins to just chomp. You feel the flow of this warm liquid coming from its maw as it just begins to chomp pieces through your armor, piercing into your breastplate, to the front of your shoulder and toward your neck, and just begin to just pull you apart inside of its toothy maw.
Okay.
Are you still up?
No.
No.
Keth, you see Alokian go limp in the mouth of this creature.
Okay. It's my. Oh no, wait. It's not my turn yet, is it? Lokian at least has to roll.
It is now Alokian's turn. Alokian, I need you to go ahead and make a death saving throw, please.
He'll screw this up.
Everyone can see Alokian's Twilight sanctuary just vanish and slowly dim as the light
Yeah.
emanating from his body dissipates.
18.
Hey, he's alive.
And
All right. Belkin.
let's see here.
You saw the large stone-like pillar creature with the tentacles just begin to use the tentacles that it had to pull its way down the side of the cliff. You see them latching between both these spires and the cliff edge as it begins to spider climb its way down. It's currently probably only about 10 feet off the side of the cliff edge.
Okay. Well, I still can see it, so I imagine I could take a shot.
Yep.
I will try to take a shot. Let's see here. Come on, quick. Come on, quick. There you go. 22.
22 hits. And because of Keth still being in melee, you can go ahead and roll your sneak attack damage as well.
Here's the regular damage first. Come on. And damage first, and then sneak attack. Damage.
20 total.
Yep.
Keth, you see another bolt shoot from behind you as it whistles through the air. This time, it strikes the creature right in its large, bulbous eye that's currently opened, and feel it shudder as the tendrils tighten around your body. What's strange about this creature and what's going on is you now notice that the tendrils that are wrapped around you seem to be sapping your strength, which is what's causing it to be so difficult to escape its grasp. But as the bolt sinks into the eye, you feel some of the tendrils begin to loosen and drop away from your body. You then see the creature begin to fall as it dies from Belkin's shot.
Yeah.
Even though
Grab.
it is falling, you see it kind of bounce as multiple tendrils are still hooked into the cliff edge as well as the spire there. But both the Lokian and the roper fall another about 15 feet. So they're currently about 25 feet off the cliff edge there, just dangling above an endless darkness below.
Okay. It's still attached to a Lokian then?
It is currently still attached. The tendrils are wrapped around his body, and he is currently in its mouth.
Okay.
But it just kind of goes limp, and the tendrily, muscly tendrils just go slack, and it does fall some as that happens. You see a Lokian slowly just dangling from the hook-like teeth that's stuck in his armor and body.
Okay. I'm going to. I assume it's probably pulling me down as well, wouldn't it be?
The tendrils that are wrapped around your body kind of loosen and just begin to
Loosen.
fall
Okay.
off of you, but your muscles still feel as though they were sapped of some of its strength because of whatever strange effects the tendrils have those it
Okay.
touches.
Well, I'm going to grab that tendril that
Okay.
was holding me up.
Yep.
And I am going to, like, kind of throw my glaive down to the side and start pulling my hardest.
All right. As you
All right.
grab it,
Pull this creature and a Lokian up.
okay. As you grab it, you feel a number of hairs and small spines all across the tendril. It's very muscly and almost as if it's like rubber. Go ahead and make a strength check. Normally it
Okay.
would be at disadvantage because of the effects of the tendril itself. But you're raging, so go ahead and make a normal. See if you can pull a Lokian and the roper back up.
14.
You pull and pull. It doesn't fall any further, but you don't gain any headway as far as pulling the heavy creature and a Lokian up the side of the cliff. And it's also has these tendrils lashed out and latched to the side of the cliff as well as this stone pillar next to it. So that's giving you some tension as well as you're trying to pull and yank it up.
Okay.
But everyone else, you can see Keth pulling to try to keep this creature from falling as well as a Lokian. Would anyone else like to do anything particular? Otherwise, we can leave Tailspire for now and go back over to our...
I'm going to rush forward and assist as best I can and start pulling.
Okay. So you can go ahead and try again with advantage this time because of the help of your companion.
Strength check, right?
Yep. Go ahead and roll me a strength check, please.
Okay.
With advantage.
5 first.
Okay.
Again.
Thank God you have advantage.
Yes. Oh.
Yeah.
23.
23.
Yeah.
The tendril slowly begins to slip out of your hands at first. Kaz rushes forward to your side, behind you, grabs the tendrils. Kaz, you feel it as you grab the tendril, like your strength just slowly begins to be sapped from your body and your muscles tighten, but you're able to pull with Keth. That's enough to pull both the roper as well as a Lokian's body that's in its mouth, currently clamped down, locked onto his body over the side of the edge of the cliff. Lokian, I need you to roll me another death saving throw, please.
$17.
Okay.
We still good.
Still good.
The corpse of the roper just kind of falls over. You see cracks all across its stony hide. It's liquid just pouring from its mouth all across Lokian's body, and from now the destroyed eye, the bolt sunk in side of the eye as well. It's unmoving. Neither is a Lokian. You still hear the sounds as this pluming darkness comes over the cliff edge. It passes you. And especially now that the Lokian's unconscious, it's just kind of pouring over his body and then moving up the tunnel.
Once a Vulcan is pulled up, I'll use my healer's kit to stabilize him.
Okay. So Belkin rushes over, quickly pulls a Lokian's body, rolls it out of the mouth. You have to kind of pry the jaw open. As you do, you see the puncture wounds all across his body, blood pouring from the wounds, and you quickly act, stifle him, keep him from dying.
While he's doing that, I'm going to reach into my bag and pull out my last potion of healing.
Okay. Pour it down the Lokian's gullet, I'm assuming?
Yep. It's going to be 6 points of healing.
Joey, you're gonna get spam from Twitch. That's it.
You see some of the puncture wounds. Though the armor has big puncture wounds in it, the flesh slowly closes. You get healed for 6 points as life pulses through Lokian's body once again. He opens his eyes, though in darkness. Your vision still stifled, still restrained. Claustrophobia slowly creeping in as this place just feels tight, small. Even though there's a massive expanse of darkness over the side of the edge of this cliff ahead of you.
Ill mate, I can't have you today, friend. Are you all right?
I will be. What of the rest of us?
As you look over, there's a giant corpse of the roper, and the large bulbous eyes destroyed, but currently just peering directly toward you, where you are.
Yeah, this looked better, and the roper you were making out with appears to be dead.
Very well.
Are you all right, Belkin? You're awfully
Yeah, I'm
quiet.
Oh, sorry. Just trying to figure out what's going on. I feel like I don't have an idea.
Well,
It happened so
alive.
fast.
We're alive for starters. That's currently what is going on.
Of course, I'm here.
Keth will go over and look over the cliff.
Okay.
Down. I don't know what he'll be able to see, but
Here you go. Actually, I'll go with Kath. I'll light a torch and drop that off the side of the cliff. See how far down it goes.
Much like the last torch you had lit, Belkin, it seems as though the light that it emanates is stifled. It's as half as strong as you would expect a normal torchlight to be. There we go. All right, looks good.
Yeah, we got it.
We'll continue.
It's good. Feels good.
Looks good, feels good. So you get to the edge of the cliff. You look down. You can see, Kath, you can probably see down about 30 feet over the cliff edge. It's rough stone that just goes down 30 feet beyond your dark vision. And you light the torch, drop it, falls. And after about 100 feet or so, the light just kind of vanishes from your sight as this darkness that's kind of coming up and over the side of cliff edge begins to just block. You can see it just kind of just pouring up, pooling from whatever chasm is before you. But it definitely goes beyond your dark vision, as well as when you drop the torch, you just see it vanish after about 120 feet or so. There's no sound of it hitting the ground or anything. Continue to hear these voices that are emanating from nothing, whispers. Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Okie dokie. Mm, 14.
What languages do you speak?
Orcish, Common, and Goblin.
Okay. You feel there's a hint of language across that's emanating from everywhere around you, but you can't pick up on what it's actually saying. There are a semblance of words because it's very similar to like the common tongue as far as how things are pronounced, and there's a bit of like a language that's emanating from everywhere. And Kaz, you also picked this up, and Belkin as well. What are your languages that you speak?
I'm in halfling.
Okay.
I know. Common, Elvish, thieves can't. But if I
Oh, yeah,
hear
yeah.
a spell, if I hear a language that I don't recognize,
Yes. It sounds
uh,
like there's possibly words being spoken, all just emanating from nothing, and it's almost like whispers on the wind.
does
That
it
makes sense.
continue? Like, is it repetitive?
It
Does
comes
keep
and
going?
goes. It comes and goes. And you
Mhm.
feel a bit of like this cold chill wind that's slowly rising from this chasm. The temperature around you is getting colder.
If you could all bear with me for 10 minutes or so, I suppose I could cast something that would allow me to understand what's being said.
We and he kind of coughs up some blood, like wipes it on his armor. We maybe want to take a bit longer than 10 minutes.
Yes, of course.
Balokian asks if you'd like him to cast prayer of healing.
Oh, yes, please.
Yeah.
So we'll
It begins to
take a
cast that spell as well, and try to take a short rest.
we're gonna try to take a short rest.
Okay.
And I will ritual cast, as I completely forget the name of the spell I just looked at, comprehend languages.
Okay. So Kaz sits down, opens his spellbook, and begins to prepare the ritual comprehend languages. Belkin, do you do anything particular? And Keth, do you do anything particular? Also, Alokian gathers everyone and begins to cast his prayer of healing as well.
No, I'm good.
Okay. Just keep an eye out.
Yep.
Right. After about 3 or 4 minutes, the air feels extremely cold as the temperature begins to just plummet in that time. This dark fog, lack of a better word, thickens and continues to flow over the cliff edge, out through the tunnel, and beyond. You feel as though there's just this cloak shadow shifting and growing and wavering across the ceiling, walls, even the floor, as the light that you currently have dims even more. Vision that you have to see and pierce through dark places wanes. By this time, 5 minutes passes and your breath is visible for you. Begins to feel as though the air is freezing. And what's everyone's passive perception?
Good question.
15.
15.
14.
Cause you're focusing on casting your spell. So I'm gonna say that Keth, feel a presence. Something shifting within the cavern ahead. So there's a different flow to some of this dark fog that's emanating from it, as if something moves through it. You see a swirl among the darkness, and then you see two large, piercing eyes, probably about 2.5 feet apart. Which is odd because you can't see very far currently, but it's over chasm, peering out towards you. Those large pillars of stone that were jutting from the chasm itself are now out of sight, unless you go to the cliff edge. But they're peering toward you, toward your companions. The Lokian's still praying to Ilmater for his divine blessing to heal that you've sustained so far.
There's something in there. Kind of pointing towards the shadow.
Okay. Cause when he points out in that direction, even though you continue focusing on your spell, you do notice faint glimmer of yellow. 2 pinpoints in the darkness. They disappear. Again, a shift in flow, movement. They reappear in a different location. Watching. Those voices that have been sort of haunting you since you've got here grow in strength of volume. They seem to be getting louder, as if something's approaching you from all sides, but is not quite there, not quite visible. You feel as though they're just as if they were emanating from maybe a few hundred feet away, as if they're slowly getting closer. those
I for one
eyes,
am a little unnerved.
the eyes disappear again. Then you see as another chill just wells up across all your spines. Keth, you feel as though your like instincts are just telling you fight, flight, danger's here. And then a hand grasp the edge of the cliff, just on the edge of your vision.
We need to go.
And then another
All right.
10 feet away
Swiftly
from you.
now.
10 feet away from it, from the
Yeah.
other hand.
There's a different one.
So very big. Probably. We need to go or fight. That's our choices. I don't know if I'm up for fighting at this moment.
Nor I.
Yeah.
Shala.
I think for now we should step back and regroup.
All right. He's gonna start moving backward. Gonna walk. He's gonna have his glaive out, keeping an eye on these hands.
Okay. You'll have to guide Lokian on the way up as he's continuing his prayer, the group of you.
Mm-hmm.
You give up on your comprehend languages, and do you go back the way you came, or further down the other tunnel that you have not gone down before?
Back to the way we came, I guess.
Okay.
For that way, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Your research
And
correct.
it took you probably about 45 minutes of a decent hustle to get down here where you are. So you begin to rush back up through the tunnel, through the cold chill of darkness that's pushing its way up the tunnel as well, and back the way you came from the base of the tree. Takes you another, depending on how quickly you go. Are you guys going to run, or are you going to just like jog, or just walk? How quickly are you going to leave?
I'd vote for a run, but I'll leave it to a party vote.
Okay.
Run.
Yeah, I think
Right.
run.
So a group of you run. Takes you about 30 minutes of a good run, and you're all winded. Your lungs feel as though the cold air that you currently are breathing are just tearing it apart, as if sharp shards of ice, and feel the freeze just sinking into your body. Your fingers and muscles tighten from the cold, as you were in the warm swamps and weren't expecting to have this sort of temperature to deal with. You rush back up tunnel, and finally feet and hands meet dirt as the stone finally gives way once again to dirt, and 30 minutes pass. You rush out, climb back out of the trunk of the tree and the hole that's in the ground. The tree is behind you. The grisly sight of blood and gore on the ground in front of you. Up, you see now, at this point, the sky has these long tendrils of darkness. It's flowing out from the tree as this darkness is surrounding it and just reaching out, spider webbing across the sky, creeping. At this point, if you had to guess, maybe a quarter of a mile from the tree itself, as if this inky darkness is just slowly growing.
with a passive investigation of 18, do I understand what's happening here, or should I roll for it?
Go ahead and roll me an intelligence check for Kaz.
Sure. Roly, drop. 17 plus 5 is 22.
Okay. With your passive investigation and something that Kaz had seen once before, there was a blot, a dark cloud shadow that he saw north of Battle Rise that was growing over the eastern mountains, near. This looks very similar to whatever that was. And he's seen that before, and through the days of travel, it looked as though that cloud was slowly growing. This looks much like that.
This looks eerily familiar. Do you recall the skies above Battle Rise?
Now, it was quite a ways away. The mountains of north of Battle Rise was probably 80 miles or so, but he can see it. He can see the shape and the dark cloud that was emanating over those mountains.
Yes, I remember. Near the Hag Hut.
Yes.
What is it?
It's entirely certain.
Cause, go ahead and make a perception check as you're looking off in that direction to see if you can see anything. And everyone else can as well.
Sure.
As Kaz is talking about this. Even though the day is turning night soon.
10.
Keth can't make
11
out.
for me.
Right. Keth can't make out anything through the atmosphere and the fog that sort of emanates from the vast swamp, as well as the strange darkness just kind of pluming out of the tree and around the area, casting a dark shadow.
No, Tomoe doesn't see shit either.
Okay. All right. But now that you're there, outside of the tree, there's, even with the corpses that were off the side of the cliff, the one that you threw away, Keth, there's no bodies. There's just the leftover remnants of blood, torn ropes, few weapons left behind. But you see no signs of the bodies of the orcs or any of the dead that were dragged below the tunnel.
Okay. What's the plan here?
Also, the people that you were able to save, they're not there either. Though
Hopefully gone.
they did say they were going to leave.
Yeah. Do we head back to town and tell the city about this? Or do we rest and go back in?
We are able to stop what madness is coming from that hole. I say we have a right to do so. An obligation, even.
All right. Then we rest.
You can also feel here at the base of the tree, even now that you're in the vast swamp once again and not underground. Temperature still here is much colder than what you would have expected. It's dropping. It seems as though as this darkness grows, more time you spend here, you can tell that the temperature's slowly dropping as
I would guess whatever we saw down there is making its way up here.
It would appear that way. I wish I could discern how much time we have.
Is there any way that we could collapse the hole?
you try. How would you like to try to collapse the hole?
I'm asking the group because I don't.
Is there like it's a rock formation opening to the cave, right?
So at the base, so there's a tree, this massive tree that towers into the sky, which is old and petrified and twisted due to whatever nature of the vast swamp. At the base of the tree, there was a bit of a hollow inside, but that hollow on the inside cracked open even more, and it opened the earth itself into this tunnel. And this darkness is seeping up out of this hole, through the cracks of the tree, and all around it.
Okay. Given how the placement of the tunnel is, if the earth were to collapse in upon itself, would I think that might be sufficient to close it?
If you were able to shift enough earth, perhaps.
Perfect. Then I
now,
can definitely try that with shatter.
okay. Yeah, you can definitely try to destroy like the top of the tunnel and try to collapse some of that.
Yeah. So wherever I think like the weakest point is gonna be,
Probably the best bet
or
for that is down in the tunnel a little ways.
yeah, that's totally
That
fine.
way you can kind of collapse that in, because it'd be harder to collapse the tunnel in the mouth of the cave at the top.
I've got 2 second level spell slots left, so I can do this twice. And I just cast shatter, shatter,
Okay,
and
so
try to pull as much of it down as I can.
you hop down to the tunnel. Now the voices are like whispers on the wind. It's again as you do, which was odd because it didn't start this early on in the tunnel.
Hmm.
Passing by, hop down in the tunnel, feel the cold chill, like just this slow fog and wind moving past you, and you find a couple decent spots in the tunnel that you believe if you used your spell on the tunnel, you'll be able to collapse it. Just go ahead and roll damage for me for shatter.
Yeah, absolutely. It's gonna be 24 and 21, so a total of 45.
Right. Is that from two different castings?
2 casts, yeah.
Right. So the first time Kaz casts the spell down the tunnel, the ceiling, large chunks of mud and roots fall down, filling probably about 3/4 of the tunnel as the tunnel begins to slowly collapse. I'm assuming he's doing it as far as he can away from himself, so he doesn't
Yeah,
get
60
collapsed in as
feet
well.
down, yeah.
Yep. Well, you can't quite see that far. At this point, you can only see about 25 feet down this tunnel because of the darkness and the way whatever
25 feet.
is stifling your vision. So bits of rubble and mud just kind of splash up toward you, and as you do that, the shadow, the voices grow as if it reacts to what you're doing. Begin to rush further down, and you hear once again a rushing sound from further down the tunnel. begin to head your direction. Then you cast it again, and once again, more mud. Debris falls, and you see most of the tunnel is collapsed at that point. But at the edges and through cracks, small tendrils forcing their way through the mud, debris that's there, still creeping its way out. But it seems as though Kaz has stifled some of the flow of what's going on currently. And so
And
everybody on the outside of the tunnel can kind of feel the ground shift and shake slightly, almost as if minor explosions happen below. This causes down into the tunnel.
I'd like to try and freeze some of the mud and the earth to like solidify it
Okay.
with 2 casts of Chromatic Orb.
Okay. Go ahead and roll damage for those casts as well.
So 11 plus 11, so 22 cold damage or ice damage.
All right.
Just to sort of try and seal up some of those spots if I can at all.
Gotcha. So you have probably about 10 or so feet of debris that has collapsed in on this tunnel now. And it seems as though now that you've frozen it over, this darkness has stopped. Taking a breath, it's still, the air's cold. And you wait for a moment. Vision slowly comes back as this shadowy, dark fog passes you and continues on beyond you. There's no more flow at the moment. And then you feel a rumble beyond. Ground slowly shaking at your feet. It's just like a low vibration.
Gonna slowly start stepping back.
Okay.
Get ready to bolt if need be.
You feel as though the collapsed tunnel ahead of you in the mud, and you see a bit of the ice crack and give way as mud shifts. Chunks of mud, frozen, fall to the ground. There's something on the other side of the collapsed tunnel, so it's pushing its way forward. See, there's the giant chunks of mud and debris that's there slowly shift forward. More cracking of ice, shattering dirt. And it continues.
I'm gonna head back
Okay.
up to where Loki and Belkin are. I've done what I can to stall it for as long as possible. I'm not entirely sure how long it'll hold. Just about tapped out. You can see the scarf is like half down across my chest. My hair is frizzy and out of my face, and I'm still bleeding down one side of my chest. Whatever it is, it's not giving up.
Well, let's move a little ways away and let's rest. If we can. Keep an eye out.
Yes, we'll definitely need to keep a close eye.
At this point, the sun set as you got here just before dark to fight the orcs that were here. It's been a couple hours since you've delved down into the tunnel, returned, tried to collapse the tunnel below. Where would you like to go? As it is dark at this point, some of the sky is blotted out by these tendrils of shadow that's creeping across the night sky now. that the moon is high. Outside of the darkness, still shining down on the group of you, it's full.
Gus, could you leave Tom away by the hole?
Yes, of course.
And we move about
Okay.
150 feet away, maybe? And as long as the Lokian could still see it.
Okay.
So I would say, but no more than 150, I think.
Well, Lokian,
Yeah.
outside of that dark, shadowy fog, he can see up to 300 feet.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Can he see the hole?
Well, the hole's up on cliff. I mean, up
Okay.
on a mound that the tree is jutting from. So for him to see that, he would have to get a height advantage somewhere else, but he can do that and watch the hole. There are very large, twisted, and gnarled-looking trees that he can probably find good perches from, but it's probably surrounded by water.
Okay. Then I'd say about 100 feet away.
Okay.
Keep an eye out as best we can.
Well, if
Alright.
anything does occur at its entrance, whether we can see it or not, we'll see it. And I leave Tom away there, and I gesture that I can look through her eyes.
So
All right.
the group of you head off away from the hill and find a spot to try at least as much dry ground as possible in the swamp to try to find a place to rest for a moment. Lokian tries to climb a tree. He does. Decently enough where he can vaguely see the front of that hollow in the tree, see what's going on. He does relay that, as well as Tomoe can see, that the tendrils of shadow and fog that's emanating from the tunnel for that moment after you find a spot to rest has ceased to come out of the hole. You also see the shadows that are creeping across the sky are still connected to the tree. It doesn't break its tether that time. About 10 minutes or so passes. Tomoe see another small tendril rise up out of the hole once again, as if a small plume of dark black smoke is reaching up and begins to twirl around the tree. Another 10 minutes. 2 more. As if whatever you did down below stifled it a bit. Stifled the flow, but it's still continuing. And then Tomoe can see another shadowy tendril. As if it's seeking, snaking across the ground, this tentacle of darkness, looking. And then another emanates from the hole as more darkness begins to flow once again after about 30 minutes or so. After an hour, unless you wish to do anything else, 7 tendrils of darkness looking at the base of the tree for signs of life, seeking grab hold of anything it can. The darkness once again begins to plume, just kind of flow out of the tunnel and back around the tree. And then the sky, you can see it slowly creeping. At this point, it's probably about 3/4 of a mile.
So we do get the short rest done, though.
You get your short
Tonight.
rest.
Okay, good. That will help us, I think.
And no No threats immediately come to assault you, even though you can see these 7 dark, slick tentacles emanating from this hole.
Ugh.
What do you
I
do?
rolled it. I rolled out of my 6 hit dice. I rolled 2 2s and 2 1s.
Oh no.
I did get 2 11s for the rest, but ugh,
Oof.
Everyone
Mm.
gets 22 points of healing from Alokian.
that will help a lot.
Nice. That actually takes me to full. I don't even have to use that die.
That's
Beautiful.
actually very close to full. Not quite full though. But all right.
All right.
Thank you, Potion Sally. So, my potion has arrived, and we're back because we're in the vast swamp. We have some swamp water.
Mm.
Very warm,
There
especially
Mm.
in a cold, chilly, dark night. Even though you're 100 or so feet away and resting, the air in the vast swamp is warm, emanating from the water, the ground, the earth itself. This is your late summer. The air begins to chill where you are. You feel whatever's happening and emanating from this place is growing rapidly.
Rest is indeed helpful. I'm afraid I'm still not at full strength. I've barely a couple of spells left in me for the day. But if you all wish to fight this thing now, then I will.
I do not know. I don't have a lot left in me either, even. I might be at full strength, but I don't know what to do. Do we attempt to take a long rest here?
Should we rest here? Afraid we won't make it through the night. This thing burrows out at a consistent pace. The 7 tentacles now wrap itself around the tree, sucking its life. Resume growing stronger.
Those eyes that I saw, did those eyes look familiar to me?
They did.
Okay. Great. During the short rest, Keth will take a few moments to kind of meditate and close his eyes. And reach out to whatever it is and ask, "Is this you?"
You say that out loud?
No.
You don't say it out loud.
No.
All right.
He's pretty ashamed of whatever is happening to him, so he's not being too public about it. He's being a little smarter.
I know a little thing or two about that.
Does Keth do this around everyone else, or kind of goes?
I mean, he probably close by. He'd
Alright.
set up against a tree or something.
Sits down and begins to meditate, and asks, reaches out, whatever's there, whatever's been there, whatever's growing with Keth. Go ahead and roll me a vision check.
Okay. I always roll so good with these.
You do.
Always.
That's for 20.
They're your best rolls, honestly.
8.
He sits down and begins to focus. Give me an idea of what Keth is thinking about when he's asking that. What is his focus when he's asking that? I know he has. Go ahead.
He's just, I don't know. There is a part of him that's kind of like upset, wondering, because thinking this maybe is the god that has brought him back to life.
Okay.
But another part of him, probably the part that like it's been coming out lately, is almost excited to see the power that, if this is his god, to see the power his god has.
All right.
So a little bit of both, like the animal in the raging part of his brain, the animal instinct side of his brain is like, whoa, that's strong, and then the living side is like, I don't like this. It's hurting
Yes,
people.
accidental BBEG confirmed.
Yes.
Keth feels the hair on the back of his neck stand up, across his arms, hands, as he's focusing, asking that. He's thinking about what's there unfolding before him, what he's seen during that night on his hunt, what he's seen down the darkness below. A low growl begins to emanate. Keth, everyone can hear.
Oh.
A low growl as his muscles tense, flex, as anger wells up inside of Keth, as if there's a threat growing before him that he does not like.
Okay. I'm very confused, but that's all right.
Sometimes
No.
So then,
it's okay to be confused.
as you guys would hear that, his eyes would pop open. We need to kill it.
All right. You have my blades.
Max.
Whether we do that now or we get reinforcements, whatever that thing is, it's not good.
That sense of self-preservation is also lingering in Keth. That instinct to live.
Yeah.
To fight another day rather than die at the unknown.
He'll kind of look around at his friends and see that they're all hurting and that they're weak, and let's get back to the city. They can maybe help us. He'll kind of stand up.
Okay.
Start gathering his things.
It is well you feel that way. I do hope so. And I do hope whatever aid they are able to provide is more than fodder.
Okay. I'm just very confused. Because these are the eyes I saw in the forest.
That was lingering out within the darkness? Yes.
Okay. But this isn't it isn't my god. I'm very confused. Which is, I'm sure, exactly what you want, Mind. So.
I have no idea what you're talking
You
about.
die for your confusion.
Okay. Back to town.
So the group of you gather your things and head out that night.
Yeah.
How far away from town again are we?
You're about a day and a half travel.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, that's gonna be rough.
So, I need someone to roll.
Ugh. I'll do it.
You
I'll
go.
do it.
Tell me fair.
19.
I mean, it is probably your god trying to kill us all.
Well, apparently not, because apparently it's an enemy. It's just this creature was watching me in the forest while I was eating a deer, for the use.
Everyone does.
It's Santa Claus. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake.
He knows when you're eating a deer.
That's not creepy.
Nope.
So,
19.
the group of you quickly gather your things and begin to head off towards the direction you believe Monk's Blade is in. Go ahead and roll me a survival check to see how well you travel back towards Monk's Blade.
Someone want to help me?
Yeah, I can assist with that. Keep an eye out and use Tomoe to spot the direction.
So go ahead and roll at advantage.
Hopefully roll a little better. Roll one more time. And 21.
21.
Yes.
It was just that morning, or the last few days, that you've actually traveled from Monk's Blade, and you know where the moon is, as it is very full and bright in the night sky this night. So for you to travel back southwest towards Monk's Blade is rather easy for you, especially with the help of Tomoe guiding you through the vast swamp, as well as Kaz helping you. You find a decent route, direction, where you think Monk's Blade is in. Heading south, southwest toward Way of the Manticore. Though you do have a long trek ahead of you, the group of you begin to travel through the night.
Keth will just look up at the full moon.
Okay.
It's so pretty.
That sense of
Just testing the waters, everybody. Sorry.
Keth looks up at the full moon, his moon-touched glaive glowing even brighter than what it would on a normal night, as if it's absorbing the light from the moon itself and cascading it all around him, guiding him through the vast swamp, gnarled trees and twisted vines, and muddy swamp pools of water, the inky blackness of strange water that's here within the vast swamp. A few hours pass as the full moon does indeed guide you, helps you in your travel as you find a decent route through and make a decent trek through the vast swamp that night. A few hours into your travel, though, Keth, what is Tomoe's passive perception?
Oh, I think 13?
13?
Yeah.
But yours is 15 and Keth is 15 as well.
Yeah, so is Alokian's.
The three of you notice a light hovering, blue light, across the water, about 100 or 150 feet up ahead, just kind of dancing across water. Here's a large pool of water that's probably anywhere from a few inches to maybe 1.5 feet deep. There's a lot of reeds and trees and sort of like mangroves that's coming out of the water itself as you're traveling up ahead and crossing it. The moonlight shining down over the water, reflecting. Beautiful sight. And it's almost as if it's a mirage at first. This light that's dancing, as if the moon itself is making strange light, but the light moves away from the reflection. And around a tree up ahead, disappearing. You see ripples across the water, as if something's moving to the right, the left. Well, breaking up the moon light. It's dancing across the water, the ripples meeting the group of you, and then stop.
Does this the light look familiar? Does it look like the ghosts we've seen in the past?
It doesn't look like a humanoid shape or spherical, just like a small ball of light that kind of danced over and through the water, through the moonlight itself, and then wrapped around a tree. The light disappearing not too far, not too long afterwards.
Okay. Kid's just
Oh,
gonna ignore it.
I totally forgot that my passive perception went up when I rolled, when we rolled up.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
So what is it now?
17.
17.
That's
Okay,
better.
well, Belkin does definitely see that. So let's go ahead and take a quick break. The ripples kind of cross the water ahead of you. And Belkin,
Hmm.
you notice it before any of the others do. Keth, moving forward slowly through the water. It's almost like that instinct once again, Keth. That danger. As your foot meets something beneath the water, kind of pushed in to the mud, the soft mud that's beneath water itself. Because as you're moving through, your feet are sinking slightly into swamp and through it. Your foot kind of lifts, and as it does, the remains of a humanoid corpse, long dead, its flesh bloated beneath the water, kind of shifts underneath, and Belkin, you notice the corpse that's there that kind of lifts up as Keth is pushing forward through the water. As that body is broken free from the mud, it just kind of floats on top of the water. Then you see another one. Not too far away, you get to float on top of the water as well. And then light appears once again as this ball of light pushes forward through one of the trees up ahead. I need everyone to go ahead and roll initiative as this ball of light begins to just shoot out in your direction. And we're gonna pull you guys over to the map. We're in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in.
I think I have to give you guys access to your token.
It's pretty.
That'd be cool.
Take a look around.
Whoa.
Sorry, guys.
Cool.
It's like we're there and we're miniatures.
No, what?
As that ball of light shoots forward out of the tree, you see multiple other balls of light come from other directions around you. Everyone go ahead and roll initiative.
Keth got a 23.
Okay.
He's amazing.
He is amazing.
21.
15.
Lokian, on the other hand, got 9.
Loki
Damn,
has a
I'm looking.
9.
Not so amazing.
Okay. Keth has a 23. And then I have my...
What's the hit die of a cleric? Anybody know?
I believe it's a
D10?
D... That was D8, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I get a D8. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, it is a D8.
What did you roll, Belkin?
15, my good sir.
15. Okay.
I'm gonna be rolling hit die, so ignore those.
Yep.
So just for Lokian.
And then these glowing balls of energy that's moving forward through the trees and flying in your direction. They have a 23. You said you have a 23 as well. What is your dexterity modifier?
+3.
+3. Okay. They will go before you.
Rude.
But
Good to know.
some of these floating corpses also begin to shift as you see what looks like shadows moving, creeping from behind you, and then dive down into these corpses, and you hear the bones pop and the slurping sound as their muscles begin to twitch and come to life
Fantastic.
as they too begin to move water. Alright, so I know I don't have the model for it, but we're going to use these evil spirits for what's going on here.
Okay.
But I hope you guys like the map. This was a fun one to make too.
Yeah, that's cool. I like it.
Alright, let's see here. So, this one will... Okay, yeah. It basically just charges its way through the air straight toward you, Keth. That one.
Bring it on.
Rude.
This one does the same. As these balls of energy just shoot out from different directions toward you rapidly. They seem extremely fast. They begin to surround you. This one go towards Kaz here.
Absolutely.
They're double moving, but so they won't get any actions that turn. Just the movement. But you also see the bodies in the water also begin to stand their feet.
And these flying things are just like the little glowing balls, is what they are?
Yes, they are. Yep.
I just want to make sure.
You can roll a religion check if you're trained in it.
I sure ain't.
Lokian is.
Oh yeah. Good old the Lokian.
Good old...
Good old Lokian.
Good old the Logian.
Useful for a thing or two sometimes.
A thing or two sometimes.
Don't tell him that, though. It'll go straight
Well,
to
there
his
you
head.
go. 20.
He definitely recognizes it. These things that's rushing out from around you, and the corpses that are rising up, does yell out, "Undead." And towards the spirits that are moving in your direction, he says, "Will-o-wisps."
Okay. I was gonna be like,
Yeah.
I could have told you that. Will-o-wisps. Okay. That means nothing to me.
Yep. All right, Keth, it's your turn.
All right. I'm gonna rage.
Oh,
This is my last rage
Okay.
today.
Oh
So
no.
no more raging after this.
And Belkin, you can also see now that these wisp-like entities are moving forward, they're also emanating light. And as it moves over the water in the swamp that's there, just see hundreds of bones and remains all across beneath the dark, inky water that's there.
It's a bog of death.
I would like you to get out of my way, please. And I'm going to reckless Great Weapon Master these things in front of me.
All right. Which one would you like to
Oh.
attack first?
The one to my right.
Okay.
You got this.
Oh yeah, 21.
21
Oh, yeah.
hits.
21. Take this, you knob. Okay. For 23 points of damage.
All right. And your weapon is magical, right?
It's so magical.
Your weapon strikes down towards this small glowing orb that's crackling with energy as it's approaching you. It cuts through it, and you see some of its body is displaced. What's the total damage?
It also takes another 8 necrotic on top of that.
Okay. The necrotic energy does pulse across its incorporeal form, but doesn't seem to affect it as much as you would have expected.
Necrotic is the worst type of attack. I have decided. Literally, I feel like that has been the most worthless ability.
What was the total damage? I'm sorry. So 4 from the
23,
necrotic.
23 plus
23
4.
27.
28.
Okay.
28.
23. 23
You're
plus
better
4.
at math than I am.
27.
27.
All right.
Yes.
You see that this energy that's coming toward you, this orb, it does almost crack apart, but then come back together as the necrotic energy that's holding this spirit together seems a bit hardier than Alokin's eyes open wide as he had expected that blow to actually destroy it. But he says, stronger than expected.
All right. Well, expect this, and I'm going to swing at it again.
All right.
Yes.
Same thing.
Yep. Make the roll.
Obviously. Let me just use this. I think I have it. Yeah, okay. 20 to hit.
20 does hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Here. I can't find it. Okay. Let me refresh this. Actually, I'll just roll it on here. Come on. That will be math 19, 21 points of slashing damage.
And your second strike does vanquish this evil spirit energy that's there as it just kind of explodes into electricity all around you. And you feel as those sparks hit you, almost as if it's trying to take its last moments in life to take some of your life essence to keep it alive, but is unable to.
I prefer you not do that. And then I'll in my turn. Actually, no, I'll go and circle around this guy.
All right.
Just to possibly give someone advantage.
Kaz.
All right.
You see a number of corpses rising out of the water, as well as these balls of energy approaching you.
2 that are in front of me here.
Yep. And as they're getting closer, you do feel as though they're like, the closer they are to you, the more that they're trying to pull your life essence from you.
How do I measure distance?
So at the bottom right,
Map.
there's, yep, and you can click on that, And there's actually number 2 gives you the ruler.
Okay.
So click, and then yep, there you go. And you can click like multiple spots as well.
Mm-hmm.
So if I set it from here, it's a 10-foot total. So
You
I
can
don't
also
think.
you can also do a sphere.
Yes, the sphere would be mucho helpful.
Yep, sphere. The
3,
sphere is
right?
number 3.
So here,
There's cones too.
Yep.
Sorry.
So
I can hit both.
yep. What are you using?
Shatter.
Okay. Yep. Go for it.
Is
Alright.
it gonna hit me too?
Uh,
Yeah.
anything within it. Yep.
That's
Rude.
including yourself too. At that point.
You make a valid point. Hold on. There we go. Now I'm outside of it.
Keth is not.
It'll be fine.
Okay.
I can't wait till I
Priorities.
die in this combat.
Uh,
Andrew
yeah.
just killed 2 of my character. No, he didn't really kill the first one.
You
Yeah.
it's fun. You're gonna take half damage. Don't sweat it.
But not the thunder.
I don't get to choose who gets. Each creature. Yeah, not each creature I choose. Each
Yep.
creature. Okay. Yeah, that's all right.
So
Sorry, Keth.
they need to make.
I'm gonna call out. Yes, brace yourself. And I will mutter an incantation, and a large bang, similar to what you heard under the earth, just like thunder cracking, which can be heard out as far as 300 feet, quite loud and almost deafening.
Okay.
Great.
Strikes in the center, causing that's a con 16 to both of them. And
Alright.
Keth, oh my gosh, that's a terrible roll. 9 damage if they fail, half that if they succeed.
Okay. So 1 fails
I fail.
and 1 succeeds.
Wow.
9
Nice.
damage,
Yeah.
and it's
Damn it.
thunder damage.
I was,
correct?
yeah.
Yep.
I was banking on you succeeding and both of them failing and doing a lot more damage than that. But you know,
How
the
long?
dice.
As
How long does our temp hit points last? Do they just last indefinitely? With a low key?
Until they go away, I think. Yeah.
I'm
Or a
not
long
sure.
rest?
And you guys have taken a long rest since then, so I think they would. I mean, short rest, so they would probably go away.
Okay, that's fine. I just need to. I still had them.
But as the thunder explodes, as in water, and mud, and reeds and grass goes flying everywhere in that area, you can see their forms are barely affected by your spell.
Nice.
They're resistant. Kath, on the other hand, is not.
Take that, Cat.
I'm dead. No, I'm just joking.
Apologies.
Did you even hit him?
Seems
heck?
I've made an error. Good luck. I'm going to bonus action blade song as the blades come out.
Okay. Go ahead and right click so you can remove the sphere. Yep, thank you. Keth is now full of mud and his grass kind of blown all across his face and the remains of possibly flesh as you see creatures beginning to rise from the water and head to your direction as well. And if that's the end of your turn, Kaz, it is now Falcon's turn.
Alright, I'm gonna with Belkin's past combat experience, I think it would be reasonable for him to use silver bolts. I
Okay.
think so. And then I will stay my aim to give myself advantage and attack the one that cast
Is next to.
target.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and
First
roll an
roll.
attack at advantage.
I will. First one, 13. Second, I don't know why it does that. That's annoying. Quick, drag. There you go. That one's getting worse. So first one was
13.
13.
The bolt shoots out towards the small, probably foot in diameter, wispy energy. It kind of goes through the top of it, but doesn't have any effect on it. The attack misses.
Yeah. That be my turn.
Right. Lokian.
Lokian will say, Kath, I have an idea. I have an ability I've never used. And he's going to cast haste on Kath.
Okay.
Wow, that's convenient for you, Cordell.
Yeah.
Pick up the pace.
I'm not going to waste his ability that he has. And then, as a bonus action, he will attack this thing in front of him with Bodrin's Gale.
Okay.
At advantage, correct?
Yep.
Yep. Good. Hopefully roll better than that. Okay.
Yeah,
22.
22 hits.
Word.
Bodrin's Gale slices through a small ball of energy.
And as he hits this thing, he's going to use his first level spell to smite.
Nice.
Right? He can do that, correct? Yeah.
Yeah, you could.
So it's 7 damage. And then
3d8.
3d8. Oh, yeah, because it's undead too, correct?
Yep.
It is undead.
3d8. Let me actually see how many second level spells he has. Nah, I'll save those. Save those for natural 20s. On top of that, 19 damage.
Nice.
That's a big roll.
That was a big roll.
Go Lokian. I love paladins.
Yeah,
That makes me miss Corvin a little bit. That was big damage.
if only Corbin survived.
If only.
He disrupts the necrotic energy that is there in front of him. The form shifts and begins to break apart, barely holding together. Still alive and prepared to sap you of your life essence. Anything else from Alokian?
Nope, that is
All right.
it.
It is now the corpse's turn as they rise from the water and begin to shift, sloshing through the water. This one gets next to you, Kaz. It makes an attack. 20 versus AC. I believe misses, right?
20 AC would hit, but I'm going to shield.
Shield. As you're facing off with this energy and distracted with partially blowing Keth apart, this corpse sloshes through the mud and water as it rises up, reaches out and tries to grab a hold of you and bite you. But you turn quickly, unleashing your arcane shield to deflect its attacks. This one. It's there. And we'll make one attack against Lokian. And that misses. Lokian is raising his shield as he looks over, noticing the undead creature. He just kind of punches the zombie back with the edge of his shield, pushing it away from him. Keth, one is up behind you, flanking you.
Ignore that roll.
No, no problem. And we'll make an attack against you. Unknown to it, it gets advantage. Well, did you go
It gets
reckless?
advantage,
It gets advantage
yeah.
anyway, so all right. 18 versus AC.
I believe that does not hit.
Does not hit
Because haste.
because of haste.
Does it? It does, right? It does give you +2 to AC. It sure does. Yep, +2 bonus. So my AC is 20.
Right.
Alokian didn't get hit, no, so he doesn't
Nope.
need to make Constitution.
This zombie will double move to there. Right there. Come on, right there.
Okay.
And that is its turn. It's now the Will-O-Wisp's turn. The one before you, Kaz, see energy build up within its form, and a bolt of electricity shoots out toward you.
Okay.
A 12 does not hit your AC.
Nope.
And let's see what else it's gonna do.
How do I mark off spells on D&D Beyond?
There's boxes in the spell slots.
Yeah. Oh, I can't because it's his sheet. That's why.
Right. Yeah.
I need
Just
to
keep
mark it down.
just keep a note of it.
Yep.
I should be able to actually mark them off.
Oh yeah, you might be able to.
Yeah.
That's all right. I can keep
I
that.
can do that in a moment.
Problem. And the other Will-O-Wisp, see energy build up across its form, and a jolt of energy shoots out towards you, Kev.
Bring it.
21. This is AC.
That hit.
You bought it.
He brought it.
Brought it.
Dang it.
11 points of lightning damage as the bolt shoots out toward you.
Ouch.
This one will actually move around there to also threaten Belkin.
Oh, threatening.
Yep. And that is the end of the threat's turns. It is now Keth's turn.
All right. Cat
Kill him.
starts shaking with this speed, and he just smiles. And he's gonna attack this Will-O-Wisp in front of him.
All right.
I am gonna reckless, even though I don't have to, just in case I have to in the next coming attacks. But I will reckless because I think you have to choose on your first attack. So,
Okay.
Yes,
Yep.
yes, I do.
So I will go ahead and reckless, even though I don't have to. I'm attacking the Will-O-Wisp. Sorry. First, hoping to finish him. 12 and
Come on, boy. 16.
16.
Unfortunately, does not miss. I mean, it does miss as the Will-O-Wisp quickly just shifts out of the way of your attacks.
That makes me angry. I'm gonna swing again. Oh, that was sad. 23.
23
That's-
definitely hits. This time you
Okay.
bring your glaive back up, slicing through its incorporeal form.
It's gonna be 23 points of slashing.
Oof.
Good hit.
If that doesn't kill it, I do necrotic damage as well. Do I need to roll that?
Nope, you don't need to, as that strike does finally destroy that wisp.
Okay. With that, I will turn around and with my hasted action, I'll hit the guy behind me.
Okay.
Recklessly. Great weapon mastered.
So much.
Yada, yada, yada. 22.
22 definitely hits.
Okay. 4. 19
Wow.
points of damage.
And with that, you
Mhm.
quickly turn around and take the arm off of one of the arms off of corpses. Big chunk of damage, but it's not quite destroyed yet.
Okay. And because I knocked out the Will-O-Wisp, I get a bonus action attack.
Yep.
So I'm going to swing again on this undead. One more time. Ugh. Oh. I
Oh,
think I missed those. So
You struck down. Your glaive is still stuck in like the side of the zombie, and you're trying to pull it free, and finally you do. But your attack misses.
wow. I don't miss attacks very often, and then I just missed 2.
Yeah.
I guess when I attack more, I miss more. That makes sense.
All right, Kaz.
All right.
More undead begin to surround you as these corpses coming from the water, coming to life from these dark shadows that shot out from behind you into the bodies.
Okay. So I learned something just now. I haven't been making appropriate use of my cantrips because with my extra attack, I can use a cantrip in place of one of those attacks. So I can do 2 swings and a cantrip. That's
Cool.
amazing.
Yes.
So I'm gonna do that. So where am I? There I am. Okay, so I'm basically surrounded right now. So the one behind me, Spirit, the will-o-wisp behind me, I'm going to take a swing at. That is a 19 to hit
19 hits.
for a total of 7 slashing damage. It is a magical weapon.
It is. Okay.
Next up, second attack, I'm going to Toll the Dead. Actually, I don't know if that's even going to work. And Firebolt's too close. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it another time. I'm just going to swing 3 times.
All
The
right.
next 2 strikes are 20 to hit against the same,
All right. That hits.
and a 9 to hit.
A 9 misses.
Okay, 7 more damage.
Awesome. You slash through the necrotic corporeal energy that's behind you, shooting electricity down toward you and Belkin. Still alive, still holding together there behind you. Anything else?
That'll be it for my turn.
Belkin. It's now your turn.
Bonus action, disengage.
Okay.
Move
I love
there.
watching you move the tokens around. It's so awesome.
Yeah.
Tailspire's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. And I will try to finish off that zombie that
Okay.
Keth could not kill.
Roll attack.
I shall. Let's see. Quick game drag. There we go. Yeah. 13.
13 hits as your bolt strikes out toward that zombie and roll damage. Your sneak attack because of Keth being melee with.
I really like rolling the dice too. I don't know why. I like
Yeah,
rolling the dice.
it's pretty cool.
8 for the regular damage. And the attack is. Now there you go. 8 plus 11, 19 damage total.
All right. The bolt shoots through the air and pierces the corpse's chest. As it does, everyone can hear like this sickly ripping sound as the corpse begins to break apart. And there's a loud pop and a slight boom. Corpse explodes behind Keth. Keth, I need you. Let's see.
Oh no. Oh man. My bad.
Yeah, just you, Keth, to make a dexterity saving throw.
You get advantage on that because dangerous hunts.
I do indeed. 14.
15.
14 fails. As the
Ooh.
corpse explodes, you take 9 points of necrotic damage. As
Ooh.
necrotic energy just envelops the area. You can see the darkness and shadows kind of reach out and pierce that area as the corpse explodes and then vanish back down into the shadows around you.
This fight makes Bear Totem a lot more tempting.
Yeah,
That's for
yeah.
sure. When I haven't had any damage.
Anything else, Belkin?
Would I be able to tell that was necrotic damage that don't damage him?
What you see is obviously pieces of the corpse and body and bones and flesh kind of explode in that area, and you also see like old, like coagulated blood, as well as those wisps of darkness and shadows actually pierce out towards Keth and his body, as well as the area around it. And as they do, they pierce and they push their way into his form, and then disappear down into the shadows around you.
I only ask because I have a potion of resist necrotic damage, and I don't wanna meta.
You know that he's taken damage, and you
Mm.
can see that like across his exposed skin, there's just this dark, like inky veins, kind of begin to lines expose in his flesh as he takes the damage. So it's definitely a strange type of damage.
That will be my
You
turn
can
then.
always ask cause.
Like only that kind
Yeah,
of
if you're trained in Arcana, you can roll it,
Ouch. That was
I-
necrotic
or
damage.
or religion.
I am not proficient. Not
Okay. All right. So then, I would say that Belkin would probably not know.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, Alokian.
Alokian. He's going to turn and cast Sacred Flame on the Will-O-Wisp.
Okay.
Dexterity saving throw.
All right. 22.
They succeed.
All right.
So they don't take any damage, do they? Well, cantrips are the
They do
worst.
not take any damage, unfortunately.
Never mind. Ignore this roll. I'm gonna roll probably. Yep, super high. Of course.
That was a good roll too.
That's how it goes. And then with
On one of the zombies.
Yeah.
with his bonus action, he will go ahead and Baldrin's Gale this zombie next to him.
Which one? He has two currently in melee with him. Right or left?
The one to his right.
Okay.
23.
All right. His blade slices through the ribs and stomach of the corpse beside him.
9 damage. Damage.
Come on.
Opens
turn.
up the flesh that's there, and you see old bits of entrails just slowly begin to ooze out, down its stomach, down its legs into the water below.
Any chance we want him to turn undead? This combat?
I thought about that, but I didn't use it. Actually,
Okay.
he already used the channel divinity, so he can't.
Yep.
Oh, he can't.
Unless it comes
Oh,
back as a bonus action, or a short rest, which it might actually, but I'll check.
yeah.
For next
yeah,
turn,
that's
does he
all.
wish to move or stay there?
He'll just stay there.
All right. Zombie's turn. The zombie that he just cut lunges toward him, taking the opportunity with advantage. 21 versus AC.
Misses.
Misses. All right, he keeps it at bay. His shield and his blade. It's unable to grab a hold of him to bite him. The other one on the other side misses as well, as it lunges towards his back, grabs a hold of him, just begins to bite onto his breastplate, but doing no damage behind him. Kaz, the one next to you, will attack you. 20 versus your AC.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that hits.
You gonna shield or no? You're out of shield.
I'm out of shield.
All right. The corpse bites you for a total of 5 points of piercing damage, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
This bitch. All right. What does a natural 1 mean? For a total of 3.
You did.
Means you fail. All right. Now the Will-O-Wisp turn.
I can't wait to take that feat where I give you my halfling luck for a turn.
The Will-O-Wisp
I
turns.
do get advantage on Constitution saving throws to keep my Blade Singer up, and I succeeded there. So
So you don't lose concentration. The Will-O-Wisp turns and begins to try to bolt you in the back, taking the opportunity with 20 versus AC. Wow.
Not that.
Yeah.
wow.
You take 7 points of lightning damage as you're jolted from behind Will-O-Wisp,
Oof. All right.
trying to knock you unconscious so it can devour your life essence.
That's nice.
Keth, it's back to you.
Hey, it's my turn. I'm gonna kill things.
Kaz is
Hopefully.
currently being overrun by the undead.
Okay, I guess I'll help him. So Keth will move kind of right here and attack this guy between us. To start, let me get on Keth's character sheet there. It would help. Great Weapon Master, Reckless, yada yada yada.
Got it.
Yeah.
All things. All right, that's looking good. Good start. Okay, 20.
20 hits.
Okay, all right, good. That will be 24 points of slashing damage.
24 damage.
Yes.
You cut into its its chest and stomach. Most of its innards just spill out on the ground. You can see that the insides of this is just like a goopy mess. Any bits of gore that's there, just kind of falls out on the ground. But it's still the unlife of the creature still holding together.
It does take 5 points of necrotic damage as well.
The necrotic energy bursts across its body, but it doesn't seem to have any effect on it.
Of course it doesn't, because necrotic is the worst.
Against particular undead, yes.
Yes. Okay. Attack again. Reckless. Great Weapon Master. 15.
15 hits.
Okay. Is that the right die? Yeah, that's okay. 23 points of slashing damage.
And this time, you cut the creature in two, and you hear that loud pop and a burst once again as it explodes.
Uh-oh.
I think everyone but Belkin. To go ahead
Do
and
the
make
zombies? Oh, it doesn't affect them. All right.
needs to go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw, please.
17.
All right.
Keth is 21.
All right.
Nice.
Malokian is. Whoop, I just throw that out of the map there. 16.
All right. You all pass, so you only take
Yeah.
4 points of necrotic damage as the corpse explodes.
Okay. Alokian will have to make a Constitution saving throw.
You as well, Kaz.
You as well, Cos.
I
Alokian,
succeed.
Don't screw this up. Alokian screwed it up. Which means I don't know when that starts, but I am stunned.
Oh. Okay.
I think that starts right now.
Starts
I guess
right
is
now.
how you see.
Yep.
On your turn.
So never mind. The rest of my turn, I'm stuck.
All right.
At least I killed one of them.
You sure did, buddy.
Kaz, it's now your turn.
All right. All right, you undead madness. Show me what you're made of. And I'm going to turn around at the Will-O-Wisp and strike 1. That's a 10. Strike 2. There we go. 26.
All right, you turn. The first strike, it just quickly dodges out of the way, but you follow up with a backhand with your other weapon. You hit it. Go ahead and roll damage.
6 and 26. That's 12 for the first. And 8 for the second. So 20 damage total.
Well, what was your first attack?
12.
12 misses.
No. Sorry. 12. I got 26 twice.
Oh, 26 twice. Yeah, those both hit then. And
12 damage and 8 damage.
12 and 8, so 20.
Yeah.
All right. The form is beginning to become displaced, but it's still holding together, trying to keep together to be able to sap you of your life essence.
Still looking whispery.
Yeah.
All right. Well, shit. That'll be my turn.
All right. Melkin.
I'm gonna try to shoot. Is Kaz 5 feet from the wisp?
Yes, he's next to the wisp and one
Okay.
of the corpses.
I'm gonna try to shoot. I'm gonna try to shoot the wisp.
All right. Go for it.
Oh, there you go. Come on. Yeah.
28
28.
hits.
Damage. Not working. Come on. There you go. 9 for the bolt, and then for a sneak attack. We have 14, so 23 total.
And with another precise shot, Belkin's bolt shoots directly through the center of the wisp. It shatters in sparks of blue energy and then disappears.
And then I'm gonna splash a vial of acid onto the zombie next to Awoken as a bonus action.
All right, go ahead and make an attack.
It's range, so that'll be dex or d20 plus my dex. This is 5. 23.
That hits. Go ahead and roll
Actually,
damage.
How much does acid do? Let's check out real quick. Right. Acid does 2d6. Okay. Come on. He can do it. There you go. 9 acid damage.
All right. You see the acid just begin to devour the flesh that's on the outside of the corpse.
And that would
Not quite destroying it, but it is melting skin and remains of the flesh.
and that'll be my turn.
All right, Alokian.
All right, Lokian will Sacred Flame, the one right next to him.
All right.
Try this again.
It fails its reflex save.
Of course, 4 damage.
Nice.
Then he'll go and attack with Baldrin's Gale. It's a bonus action.
He doesn't need to, as
Oh.
the corpse seems vulnerable to the divine energy of Ilmater, as Sacred
Nice.
Flame comes down upon it, destroying it, but it does explode. So everyone but Kaz needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
Does Keth, is he in that?
Keth was in that, so he automatically fails because of the stun.
Rude.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we'll do my character sheet. Yeah.
Great idea, Lokian. Stone our heaviest hitter.
What a jerk. Hold on 1 second. Come on. It's a death save, right?
Yep, dexterity saving throw. Need one for Alokian.
Oh, sorry.
Yep.
I'm sitting here. Not
It's
thinking
fine.
about it.
No problem.
because I was like, I don't need to make it. 18.
All right. He makes it.
Come on, click and drag. There you go.
Throw that thing across the screen.
Oh yeah, 17.
All right, so both Alokian and Belkin make it. You take 2 points of necrotic damage, and
Oh no!
Keth fails and takes 4.
Oh no! What will we do?
Okay. Well then, Lokian will move. He's gonna move to get on the other side of this guy.
Okay.
There. And now he'll attack with Baldur's Gale
Bonus action.
as a bonus action at advantage.
Go for it.
Now,
Do it.
do it.
Do it.
Do it. Okay. 23.
That hits.
Okay.
Nice.
He gets a carve into the back of this corpse as he rushes around the backside of it.
For 9 damage.
Right. Opening up a bit of its flesh on the back down to its ribs and spine. Still alive. And will continue to try to eat Kaz.
Oh yeah.
21 Kaz. My goodness.
Rigged.
These things are having a great time on you. Feast.
Yeah, that is. Yes.
You take 8 points of piercing damage.
Owie.
But you don't need to make a Constitution save. As it begins to try to eat Kaz, it's lunged itself on top of him and just biting onto his upper shoulder and through his clothes and robes. You feel some of its flesh open up as this liquid, dark, inky blood kind of flow from its body and on top of you, pouring from its mouth, as a few teeth are left behind in your flesh as well.
I don't want it.
All right. Keth, I believe you're stunned till the end of your turn, or
Move.
Yeah.
Yep.
so that'll be Keth's turn. Kaz fending off against this corpse that's trying to eat you. What'd you like to do?
Eat him back.
Dice him.
Slice and dice.
Attack 1. That is a 26 to hit
6 hits.
for 11 points of slashing damage. Number 2 is a 22 to hit for 5 points of damage.
All right.
And attack number 3 is a 15 to hit
That hits.
for 7 points of slashing. Just
And once again, corpse explodes. Its flesh and shadow explodes in the area there. I believe, let's see, it's going to be... Yep. So you 3 don't... About Keth. Not Keth. So Belkin, Kaz, and Alokian need to make reflex saving throw, dexterity saving throws. So corpse explodes.
12 for me.
10 for Lokian.
All right.
Bullet. 13 for me.
You all take 6 points of necrotic damage as
Wow.
flesh, bone, shadow explodes in the area, raining down all around you. Sounds the water splashing from the last bit of flesh and bone that lands the water next to you. Threats no longer there. You're all good.
I'm alive.
You're tired from the day travel.
It's a
Tired.
weird thing to say.
What's that?
It's a weird thing for Kev to say.
Yeah.
I say I'm alive. That is funny. I'm upright.
All right.
You're exhausted from the battle with the orcs. Even
Perhaps.
further from dealing with creature below in the tunnel cavern beneath tree, the vast swamp. Though you've had a small respite, you're even more tired now after traveling through the night and now dealing with this.
Perhaps we find a place to rest for the remainder.
I concur. We will still need to keep a vigilant eye.
Of course.
It's likely whatever the thing escaping is spreading.
All right. And he'll kind of start looking for some dry ground.
Go ahead and make me a survival check. Search the area, and if anyone wants to help him, you can either to help you find a decent spot to try to find the bed down for the rest of the evening.
While he does that, can I do an investigation to search the battlefield?
Yeah, go ahead. Roll me an investigation check.
I will.
17 for survival.
Okay. You find a decent spot that's within some of these like smaller mangroves that's has these long thorns on the inside, protecting the base trunk of their trees, but they're kind of up on a hill that comes out of most of the water that's there. So it's a decent spot that's somewhat probably defended against any, as far as like animals or anything like that, for the evening.
All right. We get set up here.
All right. We'll take first watch.
Okay. I can go ahead and roll the investigation check as you're looking around the area.
Rolled 19.
19.
Mm-hmm.
So you're looking through. The water here is very dark and black, like this inky kind of dark water that's there, but you can still see through some of it. So you're searching through some of the corpses and find hundreds of bones. Even other corpses that are still rotting. Beyond just humanoids, you also see animals, what looks like maybe some sort of amphibian humanoid creatures, some other creatures that look more lizard-like, orc. So a wide range of different humanoids that have died here. Their bodies mostly absorbing a lot of the water that's here, but some of them sunk into the very mud that's there, kind of preserving some of their flesh, but also making their bodies swell, thicken. Their blood is pretty gross from what you've already experienced.
Yep.
But as you're going through the corpses that are there, you do find a couple things.
Yes.
One of the corpses has what looks like this, on one of the amphibian humanoids, pretty well made leather armor that has a number of metallic studs all across it, which has not rusted or pitted due to time. Neither has the leather. It still seems very very intact and well made.
Hmm.
On one, because you rolled pretty good, on one of the other corpses, which can't tell if it's one of the gray orcs or the green orcs, due
Okay.
to the water and the contamination
Yeah.
that's there. But find actually in one of its pouches, it has a couple small diamonds in it.
Huh. What's with that? Okay.
And that's all you find as far as anything of value, and as well as what you see. There's corpses everywhere there.
Yeah.
Um,
Did I recover any ammo?
Go ahead. Yeah, you find 3/4 of all the ammo that you shot. How many did you shoot that one?
I shot 3.
3. You find all 3.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
But the group of you find a decent spot to bed down for the evening and rest. No other dancing lights beyond the moon shining across the water that surrounds you. No other signs of corpses rising from the swamp to assault you. And who's taking first watch? Well, I guess Keth, right? You're on kind of vigilant throughout the night. But Belkin and
Okay.
Kaz, you help him for the first leg of it. Okay. You sit there and begin to rest and recover the evening. I need you to roll me a wisdom saving throw, Beth. As you and
Okay.
Kaz are sitting there, I'm sure there's no real trees or anything that's there. You just have the kind of brush that's kind of circling the group of you.
10. These are the ones I want to roll low on.
Kaz, roll me a perception check.
Hit.
You can have advantage with Tomoe, or Tomoe can have advantage either way you want.
18.
If I get eaten by a feral cat,
All right,
so
is
home again.
this Tomoe or you?
Me.
Yeah. You're sitting there. You may have small talk, or maybe just relaxing, trying to focus on what you've dealt with so far, what's going on. The moon is bright, shining down on all of you. And make out the tendrils of darkness to the north. It's growing. You can see it kind of blotting out stars a few miles away. And you could swear your movement. You look off to the right, not too far, as something darts through the reeds, through the brush, across the water. But you hear no splashing sound. You hear no rustling. But you just see like this dark shadow that just kind of wisps across, in and out of the brush that's there. And then you take the time to look through Tomoe's eyes as perched up on a tree not too far away, that's jutting out of the water swamp, to look in that direction. You don't see anything. Maybe everything you've been dealing with is just plaguing you, haunting you. And come back to your senses as you're pretty sure there's nothing there. Just your mind, the dark, playing tricks on you. And you look back over toward Keth, probably 10 or 15 feet away, slowly rising up from his seat, looking off towards the horizon, across the water, across the battlefield that you've just fought, as that's probably a few hundred feet away, through the reeds, looking out at the moon shining across the water. Standing there on the edge where the water meets this mound group of you are on. Takes another step forward, his foot pushing down into the mud, water.
Everything all right, Kath?
His glaive sitting on the ground where he was. Another step forward. His booted feet sinking to the mud and water.
I'll stand up, walk toward him.
Okay.
Place my hand on his shoulder. Everything all right, friend?
Feel as you reach out, put your hand on his shoulder. Hairs on the back of your neck stand up. Chill goes through your body. Recoil for a moment as he slowly turns, look at you. His eyes have a bit of a shine to it, different than the sort of milky color that he usually has. A shine of like this yellow glow coming from his eyes, reflecting the moonlight brightly as he stares at you. Almost a snarl crosses his face. And he looks over toward sleeping Belkin, Melokian.
I don't.
You see his tongue go across his canines, tusks. And then he slowly turns and looks across the water once again.
What are you?
Popping sound come from his shoulders. They broaden, crack. You see his arms slowly elongating, joints breaking. He grits his teeth, takes a step back, his foot sinking into the water once again. As his arms elongates, you see the armor that he wears shift with his body as well.
I draw my blade.
Okay. Takes another step back.
Yes?
Because he cares for you. I shall not devour you now. And then he leaps back toward the water behind him. As he leaps, his body shifts once again, elongating, his legs breaking as they almost break into what looks like a more canine or animal hind legs as he bounds into the swamp.
Well, shit. I think we're all going to die.
And that's where we'll leave tonight's session,
Holy shit.
as many wonderful things are going on
Dude, you're gonna eat us.
in our campaign.
Yeah,
You can eat me.
I kind of had a feeling that was what was happening, but it's good to
So,
confirm.
for those of you that have hung out with us tonight, thank you for joining us. Those of you that watch later on YouTube, we appreciate you. You're enjoying our sessions. But for now, I'm going to have to say good night, goodbye. See you guys on Monday.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.